Hey guys, this is Jason Stefanik with Everyday Gaming here. I recently top 8'd ARG Winter States, and I want to do the deck profile for the Angel Feather deck that I played. First off is the starter that everyone plays. 4 perfect guard draw triggers, 1 normal draw trigger, 7 critical triggers, and 4 heal triggers. Pretty standard lineup if you look at the OCG lists that have been topping. Next, for the grade 1s, Arabaki, the change a card from damage and top a deck. She doesn't come up too often. The Hesedial, which comes up extremely often, which is change hand and damage and leave it face up. And 3 of the Little Pony, which is the 18k booster, who is very helpful with Hospital, because you can use his effect and then Hospital's effect for the extra 10k boost. Next is 4 of Aramati, who summons 1 from damage on the counterblast. He actually helps a lot if you're trying to rush Nectar, which is pretty good early in the game, as I've been told by a couple of my teammates. And it's just very good with that, especially if you damage like a grade 3 very early. You just go hard, push them in when you get to grade 2. Next is for Raquel, which is one of the better cards in the deck, which is just revive a card for free. You feel less bad about healing certain things and putting them in the grave. Sometimes you could put a Hospital in grave, or what you discover with a perfect guard. It just makes your plays a bit more easy to perform to fix your board. And then 3 Pegasus, which is also another good target for Raquel, because a 10k Interceptor is pretty good. And for the grade 3 lineup, for Zerakiel, free Force Gift marker, can't really complain much about that one. For Metatron, this card's probably broken, and I don't know why it's in the game, as my opponents like to remind me multiple times over. And then 3 Hospital, which I think is the greatest win condition printed so far in Standard. So, as for the matchups round 1 was against Kagero, which is about, I give it a 80-20 matchup in the Kagero's favor. So remember that, and that was to a teammate, so hats off to him. Round 2 was against a Shadow Paladin player, which is a very favorable matchup. You don't do much against them or they don't do much against you rather, because they usually wipe your board, and you just play Raquel and get your whole board back. It's nothing major at all. And you just perfect guard their Phantom Blaster, it's nothing major. Round 3 was against Murakumo, which, to get around it, you're going to want to use your Hesedial to put a Zerakiel in damage before they can get their Zanbaku off. And if you can pull that off, you're usually pretty fine for the rest of the game, and they just pretty much keep attacking. If they're smart, they'll ride Musashi, which is a problem card later in the game, but you may want to try to go for an early Hospital and try to take them out before they could really rush you down. Round 4, I believe, was against Nectar, which was it's a pretty easy matchup, I think. I know it's probably 55-45, nothing huge. But yeah, that's just pretty simple. Near the end of the game, though, you usually want to start healing up so you can take their Vanguard hits and then just guard the rear guards however you need to. Try to keep yourself at 3 damage, but that matchup isn't that difficult. Just keep hammering on the Vanguard. Don't go for any rear guards. There's not much of a point. And you want to try to go for like a super Hospital or even a double Hospital play late game, because they really can't guard that. And round 5 was against Kagero, which, as I said before, is a very poor matchup. So I ended up going X2. However, I ended up topping in the 8th place, and I played against the 1st place spot, which was Nectar, and I punted the game away, which is bad. So I would have been top 4, but I was not, because I misplayed. It happens. But that was a very good game. I think we ended game 3 with each like 6 or 5 cards in deck, and he ended up having to guard an 83k Hospital off of getting a trigger from Metatron on her ability, which was pretty cool. But I think that's about it for the profile. Feel free to ask any further questions in the comments. And yep, this is from Everyday Gaming, up-and-coming team. Feel free to check us out, and look forward to our future deck profiles.